What's good, everybody? Um, I just wanted to make this video with the recent, popularity of the new PvP game on the block, Marvel Rivals, the 6v6 um, character-based arcade slash arena shooter that honestly has more similarities with games like League of Legends or Smite compared to Overwatch. But I digress. I wanted to make this video, just to see where we're at with the current heroes in 2025. Um, I'm going to be judging this based off of three criteria of the heroes. I'm going to say, you know, how well they fare competitively. For example, if you choose Diva in a comp match, how much better would it be by default, regardless of the individual skill, basis, than a Roadhog? First is, competitive viability. Secondly is, I think, design. Design, the lore behind the character. It's the physical attributes, how they look, how much Rule 34 content is out there because of them. So first, competitive viability. Second, design. And third, finally, I think I'm going to be doing it based on overall influence on the game itself and pop culture as a whole. Because as you know, the one of the main primary reasons why Overwatch was such a popular game was that its character world and its lore and the story and the narratives that the devs created was so much more palpable than games like Apex Legends, or although comparable, but still not of the same you know influence. So just to recap one more time: competitive viability, design, and influence. So I'm thinking going left to right, but let's start with the newest one, Hazard. This is an interesting one. Um, this purple Australian meatball. A lot of people didn't like the design, but I'm pretty sure, um, if I'm referring to the current patch notes, he is a pretty strong pick, especially in the 5v5 format, which is the default I'm going for now for 6v6 arcade mode. I'm going to go and put Hazard at a humble S. I think his design is cool. It's not amazing. He's definitely a strong character, but I think he doesn't have much influence yet because he's new, so that's no. But where I think he shines is he has a very unique hero design. We haven't had a tank that can scale walls or can build walls, and his ultimate ability in particular is pretty cool to me. It kind of locks them down, and it's a horizontal hitbox that it goes through walls. It can be stopped by a few eat abilities such as defense matrix or shields. But other than that, he's not bad. I think I'm gonna jump. Let's go to S. S has to be Junker. One of the Overwatch 2 release heroes. People love this hero, not only for the design, it's unique, it's bombastic, but I think especially the way the hero interacts with the rest of the cast is just wonderful. The lifesteal is so unique, and it's one of those heroes that if you truly play perfect, you will not die, you won't lose, and you will most certainly win and get out of your gold games. On to the next. Let's go with Bastion. He's one of those classic heroes, cool voice lines. Of course, with any hit scan, hero, if you hit your shots, you'll win. The design is subpar, but it's unique. Um, and after the rework they did on him, because if you remember in the past, he had a stationary turret mode, and that was difficult to deal with, and when they took out both shields. But I'm gonna put him at B for now. B for Bastion. McCree, honestly, he's an A. I know he goes by Cassidy now, but regardless, the character is iconic. If I think he's synonymous with Overwatch almost. If you think of Overwatch, you think of a few key heroes: Tracer, Pharah, Mercy. And McCree is definitely up there. Of course, just like Bastion, if you get your shots, you'll win. And I think he's uniquely placed as a counter to dive and extremely mobile heroes with that stun or that hinder now. So I think, yeah, that's a good spot. Let's go Diva. I think this is an S tier. Maybe I'm biased because I love my Koreans, but definitely this is an S tier hero. The design, the defense matrix, the missiles, micro missiles, the flight, especially. In the beginning, people didn't know how to use the flight. They didn't know it was omnidirectional, so they only go forward or back or up or down. And then recently, last 2 years or so, especially in the Overwatch League, you saw a lot of people using it to its maximum potential. I remember, I think I was Hanbin was a staple master of this hero. He used the flight in ways to boot people, to and he used it with in unique combinations with his defense matrix, so he could either grab and then turn around because his sensitivities on max to eat a McCree stun in the back line. It's fantastic. Again, one of those heroes that if you play perfect, you will not lose that game. Genji, I want to go S because another influential iconic hero. The deflect is so unique, and who doesn't love getting 6 kills, 5 kills with a dragon blade? But I'm gonna go A. I would, if there was an A plus, I'll give him an A plus because of the lore behind him and his brother Hanzo, and the dragons animation was particularly influential. Hanzo, I'll go the same. I think no, I don't think so. I'll probably go B because he's one of those heroes that if you are hitting your shots, you'll have the most fun in the game, the most fun in the lobby. But the lack of movement compared to other heroes like Pharah and Reaper, and Soldier and Tracer and Genji, even Lucio on the support role, is you can really get run down quickly, especially at the pace the game is played in the modern era. Let's jump to Zarya. This is, I was about to put CS, but personally, if this wasn't an objective, based on the 3 guidelines that I outlined in the beginning of the video, I would say S on a personal basis because I do love this hero. It's so. I think it takes a special type of design team to conjure up an idea of a hero that benefits and does more damage as you save your teammates. I think it's just wonderful design, and it stamps down the fact that this is a team game, and to succeed, you must play in a team. I think it's pretty emblematic of the game itself. But let's go A for now. Junkrat, this is a C tier hero. This is a C tier hero. Okay, you press one button, you place your trap down, rip your rope tire. It's all lame. Come on, come on. If you think I'm wrong, say something in the comments. Lucio S tier. Come on, you know that already. The design, speeding around walls, the sound barrier. May, probably B. The design is pretty cool. The walls are unique. But this is also one of those heroes, if you hit those icicles, with precision, you will build your blizzard pretty quickly and take over the lobby. Mercy, D. I digress. Pharah, S. Personally. I know that there won't be any, I said there won't be any personal, bias in this list, but I think even objectively, the design, the influence, um, you don't even need a Mercy anymore to dominate the game if you are hitting your rockets. It's one of those heroes that you can't really complain if you're getting dominated because you know the skill expression that it takes compared to like a Soldier and Ashe or a Sojourn. Speaking of Sojourn, probably a B. The railgun is cool. Um, but I feel like they could have done more. The character itself is amazing. We love our Canadian queens, but they could have done more. Ashe, see, Bob is cool. Her voice actress killed it, but it's just a basic hit scan to me. I think there's just so many other substitutes. For example, where's Soldier here? Soldier, I'm gonna put him at A actually, because I think he's one of those influential heroes. You can't really dominate with him anymore, even if you're hitting all your shots. But it's still fun to play. You can heal yourself. You're entirely self-sustaining. It's yeah. Reaper, probably B. They tried to reform him or rework him, sorry, and give him more mobile teleport so that you can teleport without being stationary. That wasn't as effective as it seemed, but still, if you get up and close and personal, there isn't a lot of shotgun characters in this game. Maybe Junker Queen, Hazard, Reaper, of course, Hog, Doom, if you want to include that. Um, but of the shotgun heroes, he definitely does his job well until he doesn't. I think you do need a team comp to synergize around him to get maximum value. Tracer, yes. I don't even know if this is debatable. Literally the face of this game. Um, the the fan stories and designs and art made out of her are probably the reason the game was so popular in the first place. The blinking, the recall, it's probably the paragon of an Overwatch hero. If you play perfectly, have we seen done before? With players like Kevster and Proper and etc. you will dominate the game. And the pulse bomb, even everything about this hero is based on skill expression. You can't really get lucky, and I think that's a perfect hero design. Zenyatta, I think that's a A. It's fun to poke in the back line. The transcendence is powerful, but even now, there's enough burst damage in the game to actually get blown up. So you have to be careful still. But it's a classic glass cannon if you know your game design philosophy. A lot of damage, but you can get blown up pretty easily. But I think it was recently, in the last 2 years or so, they included a patch where his melee would boop you back, and that is pretty impactful actually, because you can kick away the flankers and fireball them into the head. And the Discord, of course, I don't think there is really another ability like that, and that's fantastic hero design. Yeah, pairs well with flankers, but is extremely susceptible to being flanked. So, a little paradox for you there. Torb, I was gonna go C. I think I will go C. It's just the voice lines are cool. The interactions he has with the other characters, such as Brigitte and Reinhardt, are amazing, cool, and interesting. But it's a turret, But this is actually a deceptive hero because I think he does have two spray patterns for his weapon. I think the right click has the pellet, and the left click has a shotgun. So if you do make the mistake of getting close to this little man, you might get blown up when you don't expect it. Reinhardt probably S. Um, the shield is still, the largest in the game. Um, there's no better feeling than hitting a five-man shatter. A nano-boosted swinging German man, swinging on your backline is always a fun time. I wish he was stronger. I think when Reinhardt is powerful, the game is in a good state. It's in a balanced state. But, heroes such as Ramrada and Junker Queen and Maga, especially, kind of overshine him in a lot of these matters. Speaking of Maga is probably B. You know, he's a cool. The concept is fantastic. The lore is interesting, but we know it is a hero shooter, and more emphasis on the hero rather than the shooter. So the fact that this hero is burr burr shoot and enemies go die is pretty brain dead to me. There is some sort of skill expression, but it's definitely capped, especially when you're comparing it to other heroes, such as other tanks in the game, such as Winston or even Hog or Junker Queen, especially. Speaking of Hog, this is probably an A. This is one of those hit or miss heroes. You either get blown up or you take over the lobby. With the rework, he got pretty in a balanced state because before the take a breather healing cooldown was on. I think that was it was an on-off cooldown, so it was binary. Now it's more on a slider, so it's kind of dynamic, and it rewards players who use their healing in favorable contexts. Sim, I never liked this hero, but I think it's a B. It's one of those heroes, if you have maximal, team coordination, you can dominate. But this is an online game, so that doesn't happen. Widowmaker, probably a C. Nah, no. The thing is, the design is cool. She's pretty popular everywhere you see. But it's not fun, especially in a game that's focusing on the hero rather than the shooter. To see a hero just to be able to sit in the back line and be pocketed and just dominate. Of course, it rewards, click heads. It means you're better. So that might be a bit of bias, but I think it's compared to the rest of the diverse roster, it's pretty subpar. Monkey, yes. One of those, I don't even have to explain. Another one of the face of the games, extremely iconic, and so much skill expression. I think out of all the tanks, probably the most, because you only have one jump, and it's not like Genji's. You get a second chance if you get elimination. So it's the bubble timing, the jump mechanics, and especially the primal rage. If you've seen these Winstons in the Overwatch League, Mooksway, and etc. The way they juggle the enemy, it's like, how are we playing the same character? Doomfist, I'm gonna say A. I would say S because he's my Nigerian king, but I still have nostalgia for um, Overwatch 1 Doomfist. The Rising Uppercut was especially just a fantastic ability to use. Now I understand he probably fits better in the game as a tank to create space, but and of course the design is fantastic. I think particularly when he broke out of prison, that one animation was pretty inspiring. But I'll give my A for now. Oh no, another one of those, the epitome of game design. I think this hero is just fantastic. The sleep dart, high skill expression, the anti-nades, the fact that it's an anti-nade and a heal. It has that duality there. You have to choose when to use it. There's just so much variability in the play. And the fact that it's a sniper, it's fantastic. I always thought I had this thought experiment that if Anna could headshot, then she would be locked in automatically as a healer forever. Anyway, Sombra, Orisa, I don't know. I'm gonna say B actually. In the first version of the game, the shield was oppressive. Even now, when Orisa is overtuned, she can become just overbearing and can just walk in and do whatever she wants because of the fortify. But they've done a good job balancing the other heroes around her to make sure that she doesn't dominate just because she presses one button. Moira probably C. Brig, oh, this is a controversial. I'm gonna say B because there's a lot of critics out there, a lot of pundits that say that the addition of this hero was the downfall or the beginning of the downfall of the game. The sustain became just overbearing and you couldn't kill anything. And the stun, the bash, the flail, the shield on a support hero, the fact that you can bash and it gives you like 10 meters of distance. And the ability, the ultimate ability, of course, you cannot understate how powerful it is. It can literally turn fights in a second. But I'm gonna say B. I think it's a cute hero. The design is not bad. The voice actor did good, but with the recent tuning, I think her devil status has really been been decreased. Ball, I actually think this is an ST hero. I don't play it much, but once again, similar to Honor, the variability in the play. I've seen some incredible ball techs that I don't even know how they're doing. It's like magic, and especially when they added the recent ability, how you can tether onto walls and retract yourself up and down. It adds a whole new dimension to finding those spots. It's like Doomfist back in the day. Baptiste, I'm gonna say B actually. Always a classic fun hero. If you play good, you'll win. High healing output, high damage output, and you can do it simultaneously. So it's high skill expression. Immortality field. This was kind of controversial when it first came out, similar to Kiriko's Suzu. But this one it's breakable, and it has a high cooldown. So it has a high carry potential, and I think it's a good hero for anyone picking up the game. Sigma, this is an ST hero. I don't. It's just I think it was one of the newest, or in Overwatch 1, the newest ones, the newest tanks added to the game, and I think it has deceptively high skill expression. No one is mad at an honest Sigma 1v1, or matchup, just like a honest Ryan v Ryan, Monkey v Monkey, Junker v Junker Queen matchup, Hog v Hog. It's always fair. It's best man wins. You hit your rocks, you win. You get your fluxes, you win. Your shield placement is critical. And your eat, of course. It's a great hero, good design, and the narrative story they released, the animation was particularly pretty cool. What is that melody has spawned a lot of memes and trends of that sort. Echo, I think the S is getting failed. I'm gonna say A. I would usually go S because of how fantastic the design is, and the fact that you can. It's like they've 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 optimized this hero shooter, or I should say this. Let me reword it. They've packaged the game into one hero, basically. And as you know, because of the fact that her ultimate ability, you can copy any one of these characters on the roster and have their abilities and have their ultimates. And of course, the kit itself on the base Echo is powerful. Those sticky bombs can one-shot people. The focusing beam is probably her most powerful ability, and the flight is deceptively, dynamic. You can burst, fly away. You can control descent. It's a fantastic hero. I can't lie. Kiriko probably S. Who doesn't like a ninja who can, you know, two tap and save lives with a tap and teleport? I'm gonna say B. You know, I think it was an attempt at the Overwatch 2 tank that can. It's like a jack of all trades type hero. He has two forms. The first form is deceptively powerful because his railgun or whatever it is, his staff that shoots these little pebbles do a lot of damage, and in fact they can headshot. So you can kill widows across the map. And then he has a slow that brings people down. I think that's pretty powerful. The shield, of course, shield placement is great. Similar to Sigma shield actually. And then the the big punchy man, the Hulk form is, I think that was a bit much. Maybe they could have gone with, a reduced version of that. Um, he doesn't get these two Hulk arms that can just punch through shields. By the way, maybe they keep his base form, and his second form is maybe extra shielding or a bigger shield. In fact, more armor, more tankiness, rather than just being an offensive weapon. I don't want to see Mike Tyson fighting that. Life Wither, this is a cool one, but they could have done more. The lore is kind of vague. Ilari, I think this is actually an A tier hero. One of those heroes that if you hit shots, you win the game. And it's so. I don't know what they did with the design and the sounds they put into this kit, but it feels like crack sometimes. The pylon is relatively easy if you have good placement, you can heal forever. And the ultimate, I think, is the most rewarding in the game. I think it's so exciting to use. You can get these multiple collaterals in seconds. Do you know? I think this is a B tier hero. This is a pretty fun one. A powerful support on release. The first hero to have speed, other than Lucio and Junker Queen. Sorry. Um, her ultimate ability is powerful, and I think this is it's one of the, it's like a similar to Lari or Kiriko or Ana, that their kit itself is just rewarding to play. It's fun to click the abilities. It's fun to hit headshots. If even though she can't headshot, it's fun to use the abilities, interact with the other players in the lobby. And Venture, I think, is S as well. This is reminiscent. I think when this first hero first came out, I was like, this might be, the resurrection of Doomfist in Overwatch 1, because the abilities are so damn dynamic. There's so many techs. You can bore underground. You can dig from above. You can boot people. You can one shot people. The ultimate ability is a bit subpar, but it's understandable considering the balance of the kit itself. Yeah, I think this is not bad. I probably put in a bit more personal bias than I intended to, but yeah, I hope you enjoy.